Hey everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new release DC Comics Multiverse 6-inch Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice Bat Creature figure from Mattel. Now this figure comes packaged in the same style of packaging we see with all the DC Comic Multiverse figures. You've got the red box with the black highlights. Because this is a movie figure, we have the Batman vs. Superman logo up at the very top, and then you have the DC Comics Multiverse logo. The figure's clearly displayed in the window box packaging. Now down below, we don't have an image of the actual Bat Creature, we just have an image of Batman as well as the name. And it tells us it comes with a grapple piece for the Collect and Connect grapple gun. On the sides, we again have an image of Batman, not the Bat Creature, and a bio. Then on the back of the packaging, we have a look at the grapple gun, the Collect and Connect grapple gun, and all the figures in the line that you need to get in order to complete the grapple gun. And so the final two figures were the Bat Creature, which we're looking at today, and Lex Luthor, which we'll be looking at later this week. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside the packaging. Now the only accessory that this figure comes with is the Collect and Connect grapple gun piece, and it's done with just a metallic type silver color, and then you've got a black washwork on it. This is the part of the barrel of the gun. Now once we take a look at the Lex Luthor figure and have all the pieces for this, I'll put it together for you probably in the Lex Luthor video and show you how the grapple gun works. So stay tuned for that. So for the figure, now just warning here, I'm going to be talking some spoilers. The movie's been out long enough that I don't think it's that big a deal, but I don't want any of you who haven't seen the movie by some chance being caught off guard. So I am going to be mentioning some spoilers here. So as most of you probably know, have been collecting this line, the final two figures in this assortment have been kept a secret by Mattel. Now the Lex Luthor figure we had seen at New York Comic Con last year, so we pretty much knew that was probably going to be the second one, but this figure was a total surprise. And in fact, when I first saw this figure, it took me a bit to remember where it actually appears in the movie. It's very brief, and it's in one of the dream sequences when Bruce Wayne's at his parents' grave. So again, this character really doesn't have a whole lot of impact on the movie. Now I've seen some of you in the comments and stuff say that you think this is Man-Bat, and honestly I don't think it is. I think it's just a generic bat creature, but who knows, you know, maybe it is Man-Bat. I think the figure itself is nicely detailed, and from what I remember, and again I've seen the movie only once, and this was a very brief scene, but from what I can remember, this does seem to look pretty true to how the creature appeared in the movie. So he's got this zombie kind of white skin, and it's got some nice paint detail, some really nice paint detail throughout the figure. So starting with the head, you can see he's got these whited out bat type eyes, and then he's got some sculpting, looks like a little bit of fur, though it's not painted here on his chin, and then he's got the bat ears with the veins in it. So I think all of that looks really good, and I like how the nose is sculpted with the big nostrils and everything. So I think that came out looking good. He's got this kind of bat fur on the back of his head as well on his back, and that's got some darker gray shading to it. And then he's got all these veins painted throughout the figure, which I think looks good. Now the wings look good, but there's no articulation on these wings. They just basically snap into place. When you take it out of the packaging, they're actually not attached to the figure, so you have to plug them in. But there's no articulation at all. They're just static on the figure. And the hands, again, he's got the veins down his arm, and then as you get closer to the hand, it gets a darker type color with some more purple, dark purple mixed in. So I like that shading effect on the hands. And the fingers are nicely sculpted. It also has decent paint applications on the back. You continue to have the veins throughout the back of the figure, as well as some nice shading. He's got that copyright writing on his butt like you often see with Mattel figures, and then he's got this little plastic tail. It's kind of a hard rubber type material on the back there. It's a little tail. It sticks out. He's got these bat-shaped legs that kind of go towards the back, and then he's got these weird-looking feet. Again, I suppose look like bat feet. I'm not a bat expert, so I don't really know. I've never really studied bat feet, but I'm unsure if the feet are supposed to be posed like this going backwards, or if you're supposed to turn the feet like this. I think it actually looks better with the feet going forward, but you can't get the figure to stand, and it may not even be accurate. Bat feet may be shaped like this to go backwards like this, but definitely if you want the figure to stand, you've got to have the feet back like this, and this is how the feet come when you take it out of the packaging. So the figure stands at about 7 inches exactly. Here's a comparison with the other Batman figures in this line, and you can see the Bat creature is the tallest by a hair, with the little tip of hair on the top of his head. He is actually a little bit taller than the armored Batman figure. So articulation on this figure, you can turn the head to the left and the right. It kind of sticks out because it's on that hunchback. You do have a little forward and back movement with the head. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint at the shoulder, so you can get the arm out good, and he's got pretty good rotation there. No bicep swivel, single hinged elbow, can bend his elbow about that much, so he doesn't have a lot of bending at the elbow. He does have rotation there at the elbow, has swivels at the wrist, but no hinges on the hands. Has a midsection joint, so he's got rotation there at the midsection. He can crunch down pretty good, and he can actually look back pretty good as well. Legs are attached with ball joints, so he can do the splits about that much. He's got a thigh swivel. He's got, if you want to call it, a single hinge knee, but not a whole lot of bending at the knee. Then he's also got a hinge joint there at the thigh, because he's got those weird feet. And then he's got hinges on the feet, so you've got back and forth movement with the feet, but no rotation and no ankle pivot. And as I mentioned before, the wings have no articulation either. That's my review. I really like the look of this figure. I like the sculpting, and I like the paint applications. I think Mattel did a very nice job with that. The articulation is a little bit limiting. You can't really get him in some really cool poses. I would have liked to have seen articulation on the wings. But as it is, it's a nice looking figure, even though it is an obscure character, which doesn't bother me too much. I guess I would have liked to have seen a parademon before we got a Bat creature, and we've still got the Lex Luthor in prison fatigues yet to come that we saw at Toy Fair, so maybe we'll get a few more figures in this line down the road. As it is, this figure is hitting shelves now. You can pick it up at places like Target stores. Also, we'll have a full gallery of images up at toynewseye.com. There'll be a link in the description below. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook and or Twitter pages. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.